Let me know when
Go
you're
for
ready.
it. Just go for it.
It should have been Book It.
Welcome to Book It, a wrestling podcast where we book and revisit your favorite wrestling storylines. I'm your commissioner, High Five Mike, and today our GM's Damone, D Money Allen,
Let's get toxic.
Primetime Travie T.
I just want to say that Kyle Kuzma is the GOAT because there is a KyleKuzma.com, but there's no MichaelJordan.com.
Nope.
Damone, you better take care of him.
I will.
Bad guy Kenny.
Hello there.
And this week we are continuing on with the first round of Book It Verse 3, and we are doing D Money's Toxic Championship Wrestling. I don't know. It's
Toxic Championship Wrestling. TC.
Yeah.
If it's anything like the flyer.
I think I put TPW as the episode. Oh well.
Toilet Paper Wrestling. Toilet Paper Wrestling.
Yeah, I thought it was Toxic Pro Wrestling.
Toxic Championship Wrestling.
Yeah, I put Toxic
So
Pro
just
Wrestling.
the championship, not the wrestling, is toxic. Got it.
All right. If you don't know what the Book It Verse is, I recommend going back at least 3 episodes and getting back on Book It Verse 3 series. If not, you can go all the way back to Book It Verse 1, where we didn't find our legs yet, and that's how Kenny won.
Speaking of Kenny,
Always
take
gotta
that.
disparage Kenny.
I was gonna
Kenny-
say, hey, I mean that's how it is, man. That's what winners do. You know,
Kenny,
so-
take that sticker
you know,
off your
when
hat.
Book
It is glaring
Book It
so
Board of the year,
bad.
you know, all we do is win out here. That's all we do.
Kenny's sticker on his hat is like shining into my eye.
And I had the
Well, it
most
doesn't
votes.
matter.
Hello,
Don't forget
people.
that too. I had the most votes.
Oh man,
All right.
Book It
So,
Verse out there.
Damone, let's go ahead and just get started.
I got all my quarters ready for you, Damone.
Okay. This is Wednesday Night Reckoning live on Amazon Prime. This is the very first episode of
So it's
Wednesday
only
Night
on
Reckoning.
Amazon
Ever.
Prime?
Ever. It's only on Amazon Prime, yeah.
You couldn't get that Twitch sponsorship?
It might end up on Twitch eventually. Once we get
Amazon does Prime does
library.
reward you with Twitch subs, so
yeah,
There you
once we
go.
get a library, we'll start putting stuff on there, kind of like Impact us.
Well,
So,
go get a library card, and then you can go to one.
I hate you. So this is the first segment. So it's about 5 minutes. So the show starts in what looks like an old factory. We see a pile of like old TVs like stacked on each other, like kind of like the bigger ones. Playing highlights of AWC, NSW, and CBW matches like Triple H versus Taz, Raven versus Black Pope in a crucifix match, Daniel Bryan tearing through the cruiserweight division. Suddenly, the camera pans out to 2 figures, but you can only see their backs. One of them sitting in a chair, the other's beside him. You can see that he's wearing like a black hoodie. Suddenly, all the TV channels change to news footage reporting that CBW has gone bankrupt after Johnny Knoxville took control of CBW. Several wrestlers have filed suits against the Jackass star because they haven't been paid. Next, it's cut to reports about NSW shutting down due to losing all their sponsors after a failed trip to North Korea. Fans began calling the promotion DSW, Double Standard Wrestling.
DSW.
Wow,
DSW.
Damone's really taking other people's names and ideas, and
AWC has also been bought out by Primetime Championship.
PTC. PTC.
The
ain't
news,
nobody changed that shit. Travis, shut up.
Yeah, the sound fluid.
the news
That sounds like a
broadcast,
medication.
the news broadcast stops when John Oliver asking, "What's next for professional wrestling?" The TV then begins to play all the highlights in the newscast like at the same time, but at like a 3 times of normal speed. You see the figure in the hoodie, then he grabs a gas can and begins to douse all the TVs in gasoline. And then you see him pull out a match and light it and throw it at the TVs. Sorry, I skipped a part. So the figure in the chair nods, and the other guy wearing the hoodie throws the match on the TVs, setting all the TVs ablaze. The man in the hoodie then turns around and begins to walk towards the camera, and we see that it is David Arquette who yells into the camera, "What's next for professional wrestling, Toxic Championship Wrestling. Then the camera pans back to the rubble as the theme song Destroy Everything by Hatebreed plays as it fades to the factory live in Detroit, Michigan.
It's in Detroit. You can't have shit in Detroit.
It's look. The building's burnt down like everything else in Detroit. So,
Dad Rock, Troy.
Well, Hatebreed's not really Dad Rock. They're like
I have three
hardcore.
questions.
Yes.
One.
How dare you?
Are you? No. Are you like you're based in Detroit? Then I'm assuming because you said the factories. I'm assuming like that's like the Impact Zone.
Yeah, we're based in.
So you're gonna be having your TV shows from the same location.
Yeah, TV shows will be from the same location, but pay-per-views will travel.
Okay, I like that. Did you reveal who the guy in the seat was? I know you said the hoodied man. Okay, and then
he's pulling the DPW. He's waiting till the end.
There was a third thing that I needed to ask, and I don't remember what the third question was. Continue. I'll try to think of it.
Okay.
Oh, how long was it? That was the third.
5 minutes.
Yeah, he said that
about 5 minutes. Yeah.
Okay. Demote's starting hot, y'all. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, it's a little fire.
Let me hear what you guys got.
I'm gonna start this. I'm not Travis. I'm not gonna hate if you throw shots. So I'm gonna give you a 5.
John?
Yeah, I'm pretty close to that. I like the references. They were all pretty funny. You got the crucifix match. You got the double standard wrestling. You were fucking insane. Like roasting the entire last Book It verse we did. And I like that you roasted yourself too. You didn't just take that time to shit on like Travis, me, and Kenny. Like you roasted yourself. So I respect that. David Arquette is not appealing. Gotta say that. But I'm only gonna like take like a quarter for that. I'm gonna say 475.
Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking. Okay, wait. Just to go back to me for a quick second. I was thinking about taking points away for David Arquette, but like I said, I'm not gonna do that specifically just because of who the person is. I'm not gonna do that to you because
it's just kind of musty though. You see, like wrestling is dead, and then like the person responsible for saving it is the guy who is like the most infamous WCW booking mistake ever. This is saving wrestling.
Hold on, wait.
I feel it, but basically, like the way I'm thinking of it, that's just a base model. So you do whatever you want to do with that person. I'm just judging the segment.
Yeah. I'm just saying, if I heard that like wrestling was dead and that David Arquette was gonna save it, I'd be like, oh fuck me.
John, what'd you give it?
I gave it a 475.
Okay.
Mike, I'd like to hear your thoughts because I'm between two numbers and I kind of want to.
I'm not nearly as high as them.
Okay.
Oh shit.
I mean, I feel like the visuals would be kind of cool, but I just, as of right now, I'm not feeling anything else. I get the references. I don't care for the references.
I'm in the same universe as all of those companies, so
as am I.
So that's why the references are there.
I'm not completely.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are you in 2023 like John is? John's
no, no, I'm not in 2023, but I'm in the same universe as like all those companies, and it's kind of explaining why TCW is created, and those companies are gone.
Yeah, we'll say John is literally John Connor right now. He came back to warn us AEW is gonna stink.
I don't believe NSW would have closed down. I'm giving you a 3.
That's a dumb fucking excuse.
Hey, high five. Explain it, buddy.
Right. I'm gonna give you my thoughts on this. I thought this was a fire segment. I thought this was a good start. I think you created intrigue. I think you did everything that you should do. Similar to Kenny did really well with his intro as well. And I think you did this a little bit better than him. And I was between a 5 and a 4.75 because I didn't like the David Arquette reveal. I feel like you're going down the same road as CBW with Johnny Knoxville, but with David Arquette. But with Mike being as harsh as he is, I'm going to give you your 5 because I think he's going to take away the order I was going to take anyway.
And
Travis 5 gang.
I'm going to tell you now, I'm not doing a like this guy versus this guy for control of the company. That's not happening.
Yeah.
At all.
Hey,
like,
Kenny.
It's not happening.
Hey, Kenny, me and Demote are the only guys with Travis 5s now.
D money dollars mean nothing now. Travis 5 are the only things that matter.
When you get that asshole to give you a 5, you know you did good.
Okay, so segment 2. So this is about a minute or two. Excuse me. Matt Stryker welcomes the audience to TCW. I'm not doing a voice because I can't do voices, so
Boo.
I am joined tonight and every night by my old partner Vampiro, and I'd like to also welcome Don West to the team.
Well, aren't they both brand new to the team? So you're making like a Don West is brand new, but they're all brand new.
He's new to working with them. He's never worked with those two. Vampiro says he's pumped to be here, and he's hearing there's a ton of action tonight. But after watching that opening, he wants to know who the person in that chair with Arquette was. Don West cuts in and yells that tonight will change the face of professional wrestling forever. And I just heard the main event tonight is to determine the first ever death champion in TCW history in a barbed wire battle royal. Stryker says, settle down a little bit, Don. We're still a little while away from that. Well, let's get ready for the first match in TCW. The camera then cuts to the ring. Do you guys want to judge that, or do you want me to do it combined with the match?
I would combine it with the match because nothing really.
What did we do for John?
Yeah, nothing really happened. That was just commentary talking. Y'all didn't rate me whenever I had commentary
Okay,
to advertise.
that's what I want to know.
Okay,
go ahead.
Okay, so we hear over the loudspeaker, I think I'm cute. I know I'm sexy. And then out comes Shawn Michaels with Sensational Sherry wearing trunks, white trunks with pink hearts.
Trunks?
Or not, or tights. Sorry,
okay.
Tights. I said
Okay.
I wrote both for some reason. For some reason I wrote both.
No, you should have leaned into trunks. You should just went for it.
Wearing white tights with pink hearts.
Okay.
Sherry gets up and holds the ropes open for Shawn, who then gets in and does his the Shawn Michaels flex.
He crabs.
Sure.
What?
Like a half
crabs. That's crab core.
Hell yeah.
Why do you say he craps? Like
Michaels king.
While Sherry stands behind him. Next we hear, I'm here to show the world. I'm here to show the world. And out comes Dolph Ziggler wearing black tights with pink writing that says show off.
Okay.
Dolph walks to the ring, slides into the ring, and stands in his corner and stares at Shawn.
So wait, you got him in pants?
Yes, he's in pants.
Boo.
Glam metal Dolph, let's go.
Dolph biker shorts Dolph is the best Dolph.
Dolph slides into the ring and stands in.
Wait, Damone. Describe Dolph Ziggler's hair in this instance.
It would be not the when he first got introduced, but world champion, like when you won the world championship. That
so he kind of got the biker shorts era hair with the long tights. Yes. Nice mix. Okay, I can vibe with that. Straightened hair is better, but I'll take this.
No, straightened hair is the worst.
L plus ratio.
No. I'm sorry. Not straightened. Super long hair is the worst, and then after that is straightened hair. But the best, what you just described, when was the best when he's got the slightly longer slick back.
Yeah.
With the curls. Yeah, that's
That's not my favorite, but I'll take it. It's top 5.
So the ring announcer Ricardo Rodriguez announces both men, and that the winner of this contest will be the first entrant into the Feast or Fired match at Judgment Day. The rules for normal matches are put on the screen, being it's the first time and we're having a match. So you can win by pinfall, submission, DQ, and countout. There is a 20-second countout rule in TCW, and DQs are at referee's discretion. Dolph takes the bell rings. Dolph takes the center of the ring, and he reaches out his hand to shake Shawn Michaels or HBK's hand. Shawn smirks, and then he spits his gum in Dolph's face. Dolph turns his cheek as it hits him, smirks, and then the two start exchanging punches. So I'm not going bell to bell. I'm just going to give you the major spots. So Dolph Irish whips HBK and hits a perfect missile drop kick as Shawn gets back up, but then immediately falls back down. HBK gets Dolph into the corner and hits a stinger splash. Dolph comes out of the corner as Shawn springboards off the top into a diving crossbody. HBK goes for a belly to back suplex, but Dolph counters and lands on his feet. Dolph goes for the zigzag, but HBK is able to grab the rope. HBK goes for a super kick, but Dolph ducks under and slides out of the ring. Both signal that they were this close to ending it. Shawn goes for a running crossbody. Dolph sidesteps it, then throws him over the top rope to the floor. Then runs and hits a cross or corkscrew plancha to the outside. Gets up and gets the crowd hyped. HBK counters an Irish whip by Dolph and sends him into the steel steps, causing him to hit his knee and grab his knee. Striker reminds the audience that in TCW there is the 20 count. HBK locks in a steel post figure 4 lock, but has to break it at the count of 4 so he doesn't get DQ'd. HBK drapes Dolph's knee on the middle rope and comes down on it as Dolph screams out in agony. HBK locks in a sharpshooter, but Dolph manages to drag himself to the bottom rope. Dolph manages to push HBK out of the ring with his feet when Shawn tries to lock the sharpshooter back in. Dolph is hobbled on the outside, but manages to drive Shawn back first into the guardrail. Dolph hits a diving elbow from the apron on Shawn on the outside. Dolph does get distracted by Sherry when Shawn uses her as a human shield, and then Dolph rakes the eyes and then chop blocks him, and slides back into the ring to break the count, or like not chop block, but like takes out his knee. Shawn puts
Wait,
Dolph on.
Sorry. Who raked the eyes?
Shawn rakes Dolph's eyes.
Okay.
Shawn puts Dolph on the announce table and climbs to the apron and hits a moonsault through the announce table. Shawn is back in the ring at the count of 7. Dolph barely makes it in at 18. HBK immediately hits the teardrop suplex, followed by a diving elbow drop, and kips up and signals it's over. Shawn gets up and tunes up the band and hits Sweet Chin Music, but doesn't hook the leg. Dolph kicks out right before 3. Shawn and Sherry lose it. They can't believe he kicked out. Shawn signals he's going to hit it again, but this time Dolph counters and hits a zigzag. But Sherry distracts the ref so that he doesn't see the pin in time. But the crowd does the 1, 2, 3 count. But the ref doesn't see it in time. Dolph counters a clothesline attempt and locks in a sleeper. Shawn runs the turnbuckle and rolls into the pin, but Dolph kicks out, breaking the sleeper. Dolph hits the heart stopper elbows, picks up Shawn, Irish whips him, and hits the spinning spine buster, then kips up, slaps his knee, because his knee's not 100%, and goes to the corner and tunes up the band. Dolph goes for the super kick, but Shawn ducks and hits a zigzag of his own and goes for the pin. Dolph kicks out at the very last moment. Both men are exhausted. They exchange punches as they work their way up. They both bounce off the rope and they clothesline each other at the same time. So this is the finish. So Dolph goes for a German suplex, but due to the knee, he can't get the pop. So HBK lands on his feet. HBK hits a DDT, but Dolph kicks out. HBK is frustrated and backs the referee into the corner, thinking it should have been 1, 2, 3. As he turns around, Dolph hits him with a super kick. HBK bounces off the rope, and Dolph follows it up with a zigzag for the 1, 2, 3. After the match, Dolph tries to help Shawn to his feet. Shawn looks at Sherry, who's in the ring. Sherry nods, and HBK lets Dolph help him up. Shawn reluctantly raises Dolph's hand and then makes his way out of the ring and down the ramp as we watch Dolph celebrate. That's the end of the match. And that is about, including the earlier segments, about 35 minutes.
Oof. The moment came to play, motherfuckers.
Let me chew on that a little bit. I've got a range. Let me just kind of fine tune it.
I do too.
All right.
That was good. Good. Go ahead, Kenny.
I gave you a 4.25, and I just thought the ending was a little clunky. That's where I was just like, that's my only really critique on the match. I thought the actual match was good, and I also think there was it was the wrong winner as well. But other than that, like it wasn't nothing crazy. Like I didn't think it was like nothing bad really like that. That was just like my only nitpick. So that's why I gave you a 4.25. Other than that, I thought it was far.
I'm gonna go now because first of all, I gotta say that Kenny's over here advocating for the status quo, and I'm not gonna tolerate that.
It's because your boyfriend was in the match.
Just like, I don't know, I think Shawn Michaels needs more wins. He didn't have enough of a career yet. I'm
talking about storyline.
I do agree with Kenny in the sense that the ending was a little bit clunky. Like there was just kind of a lot going back and forth. But I will say I like some of your rules. I like the 20 count, and the ref discretion is weird, but it does create some story devices. But then you also have to assume that the refs aren't crooked and things like that. Just a lot up to the imagination with the disqualification rule, because Sean could have gotten counted out at 5, but the ref also could have said, "Nah, fuck it, you could hold him in that hold for fucking 10 minutes after a rope break if you want to."
Almost all rules, sports and everything have a ref's discretion.
And the DQ is the ref's discretion. The ref could DQ you for like a lot of things that people do. Like an eye rake, you technically could get DQ'd for.
I mean,
Seth Rollins got close fist punch.
Seth Rollins got DQ for fucking hitting the Fiend with a chair in a no DQ match.
That's true. So I wasn't gonna take off of that. I was just saying that it's an interesting story device. I'm gonna give this a. You know what, King, you deserve a 5.
Thank you, sir.
Get that Dolph winning stipend. I still want to see where you go with this because I know that this is the first show and the builds have yet to be crafted, but I want to see where you go from here, especially with Shawn Michaels having somewhat of a bit of a face turn. I also like to use face Dolph. That's a dub.
Face Mike, Dolph, you have a number?
$4.25.
Okay, I'll take it.
Honestly, as I said, Damone came to play. I disagree with Kenny. I think the right person won. I think the finish was good. I like that Sean ends up ducking a super kick and hitting his own zigzag. I like
that was fun.
Dolph won with a super kick, followed by a zigzag. I liked
You made the zigzag work. I like that too.
Yeah. I'm gonna give you your 5, Damone.
Damn, you. 2 Travis 5s in a row. Damone's just gonna walk away with this whole shit. Just wrap it now.
No, there's some shit I'm pretty sure he's not gonna like later.
He just started really strong to counteract the point by getting in a little bit.
Okay. Is that everybody?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So then this is gonna be we cut to a vignette. So we see Finn Balor with his normal fit, the leather coat and whatever, sitting in a chair alone with a single light bulb swinging back and forth.
You said this is Finn Balor?
Yeah, this is Finn Balor. Let me ask you all a question. Have you ever held something in, pushed something inside you down to protect others?
Yeah,
whether it was anger,
my fault.
Whether it was anger, jealousy, pain, because that's what I've been doing for years. You see, I've kept the demon at bay, only letting him out in the most desperate situations. I've struggled and fought him off for years. Fault. Don't make fun of how I talk.
I was gonna let you have it.
No, I got I talked all last time, so we going in on you.
I was gonna let you have it. I stuttered my first show, so yeah.
He's tried to consume me, but I've held him down.
You can consume
held
my
him
ass.
back for all of you. You see, I was afraid what would happen if I let him take over, take control. But what has that gotten me? Nothing but heartbreak. It's only hurt my career. I've lost matches I had no business losing.
Right.
And then it cuts to like still photos of him versus Roman, like with the power up and like the rope thing. I lost championships I should have kept forever. And then it cuts to him with like the sling, giving up the Universal Championship, and then him losing like the NXT title. Because I was too worried about protecting everyone else. But that ends now. The demon is now free. The demon is now unleashed to do whatever he sees fit. So be warned. You may ask, what's different now, Finn? Well, instead of not being able to control what the demon does, I won't control what he does. May God have mercy on your souls. Then the lights cut out and we just see the demon's glowing eyes through the darkness. And that's about 3 minutes.
I have a question. I have one question. Is there music playing in the background while he's doing all this?
Yeah, it would be like
It's Blink 182. It's like
No,
fuck all these
it would
bullies.
be-
Mom.
it would be like kind of like a dark classical
Like organ?
music. Like yeah, like organ, evil
Ooh,
organ
I like that.
music.
That made it better for me. Hey, motherfuckers, the Mo came to play. Also, John, just to point out something, that he just did what you were missing the entire time with your promos. It felt like a performance. Yours felt like you were reading a book to me in monotone.
So
Which
you're
I
saying
think
like the
I don't
It's
know that
funny.
you're-
Of all
I
people,
don't know
should
that-
not be monotone. Me.
so you're saying it's how you present the promo, not the promo itself.
I mean,
Well,
always.
that's
yeah,
part.
for sure.
That is part of the promo, though.
Man, fuck. You're asking a lot of me, man. I can't
Just
fucking.
imagine if CM Punk did a pipe bomb and literally was monotone the whole time.
Right? Like,
I'm not the wrestler, motherfucker. I'm just the narrator.
but
Like,
you are in my mind. You are. You have to be.
Vince
Yeah, you
Russo
gotta-
is gonna
you
cut a
gotta
promo like
sell the
Hogan.
product. You got to sell the product to us.
Damn,
If you weren't foaming out the mouth at the end of your promo, I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
well, you see, every time I do an impression, it goes into like a comedy routine from somebody. So
But that's because not only are you saying wild stuff, you say it weird.
All right. I'm ready to rate. I don't think anybody's ever gotten this before, but it's gonna be another 5 for me. I don't know.
Damone is Book It Boy of the Year all over again. Just strip Kenny now.
I'm like over here grinning ear to ear because this is Damone's making the perfect show so far.
Travis's face confused me during that because I thought Travis was like making his "I'm about to roast you" face, but he was.
No,
so,
like
it's usually his happy
I'm
"I'm about to
with it.
roast you" face. I've never seen him happy about anything else. Like this is the first time I've seen him actually happy with the product, not just being ready
Me
to fucking
too.
grill
I'm
somebody.
so confused. I am so confused right now.
Damone, that was anime as fuck. I gotta say, that was like some fucking like nine-tailed fox or some fucking like Super Saiyan 3 like
I like that
pre-promos. You're
he started
you're
talking.
doing
We saw the swing, Kenny.
you're doing me better than I'm doing me. So I'm not gonna quite give you a full 5. This is a 4.5 for me. It's not perfect,
Okay.
but it's very good.
Okay, I'll take it.
It's
I don't know what
insanely
you could have
good.
done to make this better.
I don't know. It was something. I
Yeah,
can't tell you
the
what.
costume.
It wasn't perfect, but it was fantastic. It was really,
the only
really
thing
good.
that I think could possibly be missing, and it's not enough for me too, because you kind of hinted at this, is I thought at the end it was gonna like flash, and he was gonna be the demon now, but you did the eyes thing, so it's pretty much the same thing. That's literally the only thing I can think of.
Yeah. I didn't see any problems with it, so I gave you a 5 as well.
Damn.
I don't think there should be music playing behind him. I think that's dumb.
Nah,
I think it's more
you-
ominous
you gotta
without
have
the
music.
music.
You gotta have music.
Because no, the music just makes it sound. It just makes it stupid. I'm going with a 4.25.
Just imagine he's doing
Mike's
that.
on this Travis today.
Mike is being a dick.
No, he's nice, Travis. Though Travis ain't ever gonna roast you that hard and give you a 4 1/4. Travis is gonna.
True.
Now,
True.
so if this were Travis and he hated the music, Travis would be like, "Yeah, the music just killed it for me. This is fucking awful. You get a 1/4." Like,
That's why I asked if there's music playing because I feel like the music would have made it just a little bit.
I agree.
Just
I think
imagine
it's
like the whole time he's doing
that makes it corny. It doesn't
No,
make it
it's-
ominous.
No, as he's doing this,
like-
the music's getting a little bit louder in the background.
Nah.
He's like, okay, let me tell you another thing.
That's not
Mike
what I
is
was getting from it.
there's
That's,
professors who'd
that's dumb.
fucking roast me in the comments, then give me a good grade. Like I had an essay once I wrote where it's like your word choice was generally poor, and he gave me an 85. That's Mike.
I
Like,
have
If
one
y'all
question for
had music playing when Sting and Cena was going at it, y'all would have got more points.
I have a question for Damone.
Yeah.
How did you get access to all of this content library? Like how did you get these things?
My owner's got deep pockets.
Okay.
Yeah, it was I did the same thing.
it's literally D money. Like, don't ask
Deep
questions.
pockets. I'm not the owner. I'm not the owner, but the person who owns it has very deep pockets.
Hey, I feel you.
Okay, so we're
I
gonna
don't.
cut to. So
You
we
brought
brought
in Donald Trump.
No, I didn't bring in Donald
He
Trump.
brought
I
in
think someone
Donald Trump.
I think
He's
someone
trying to run
drafted
off the
Donald
Trump train.
No, I'm not. Definitely not Donald Trump.
Kenny took Donald Trump.
I think he might have.
Who?
You.
Did you
No,
take
I got
Trump?
Ted. I got Ted DiBiase Jr. It's the same
Oh,
exact
yeah.
thing.
Yeah, pretty much. So we cut back to the announce team. Vampiro says, "Now that's a scary idea. The demon has completely consumed Finn, it appears, and he's going to take it out on the TCW roster." West and Stryker agree. Stryker then talks about how before that we watched a match of the year contender. Don West says, "That is the match of the year, and we're only one match in." Wow. Matt says,
I hate Don West.
I love Don West.
Matt says
That
that
was
next up,
insane.
Matt says that up next we have a tag team or tag title coronation. It then cuts to a video package showing how the Fallen Messiahs got together. It cuts to a video package voiced by Barry Scott. For those who don't know, he's the Impact voice or Impact. He did the Impact promo like voiceover stuff. So it's
Why
showing
him?
what
Why did you pick him?
he's a goat.
I was say, doesn't he have a deep ass voice too?
Yeah, he's a deep, super
Yeah.
deep voice.
I know what you're talking about. That shit was good.
So it shows Seth Rollins after leaving NSW in its final days. He goes to Evolve. In Evolve, he started off hot, and then suddenly he went on a losing streak. He's then approached by the fallen angel Christopher Daniels. Daniels tells him, "Seth, you've lost your way. That's the reason you're losing. You've lost the vision that made you the architect of the Shield, the Monday Night Messiah. But I can help you get it back." Seth says, "I'm listening." And then we see the two go into Daniel's locker room and close the door. Later that night on Saturday Night Sin, Seth and Ciampa attack, or not Ciampa. I don't know why I wrote Ciampa there. Seth and Daniels attack Eugene.
So
Attack
we're
and
seeing
injure
all
Eugene.
this, right? Or is this the call?
Yeah, we're seeing all this. We're seeing
Okay.
all this on it's like a video package.
Okay.
So Seth and Daniels, they attack and injure Eugene. They declare that they are the fallen messiahs and that they will cleanse and save the tag division. They go in a tear and eventually win the Evolve Tag Team Championships. However, due to the dissolution of Evolve, after it declares bankruptcy, after spending too much money on its music budget, the Fallen Messiahs make their way to Toxic Championship Wrestling. So we see David Arquette in the ring, and so it cuts out of the package. We see David Arquette in the ring, and he's standing next to a table that has the TCW tag team titles on them. It's the TNA tag belt design, by the way. This is David Arquette. I'm sure a lot of you would never expect to see me in a wrestling ring again. You know, I know a lot of you blame me for the fall of WCW, but you should really be blaming yourselves. But don't worry, I have forgiven you. And as your general manager, I have been put in charge of giving you the best show this industry has to offer. You see, my boss demands it. And before any of you people ask, who is your boss? My boss is on a need-to-know basis. I know, and you don't need to.
The Raw general manager.
Because he's decided to keep a low profile. You see, he's not going to be like some of these other owners, naming companies after themselves in matches, not doing any of that. But let's move on to the business at hand. You see, it is my distinct honor that as my first act as general manager of TCW to present the first ever tag team championships in this company's history to the best tag team in the world, Seth Rollins and Christopher Daniels, the Fallen Messiahs. Out comes Seth in a black fur coat, wearing red and black tights, while Daniels is wearing red and black shorts and a red and black robe.
Also,
they come out and they come out wearing the Evolve Tag Team Championships. So this is Dave. It's going to be a back and forth between the three. So I'll tell you when it's who it is. So David says Seth, Christopher, on behalf of TCW management, we are thrilled that you have chosen to sign here. You two are the best tag team in the world, and with you as the cornerstones of our tag team division, we will be the premier company for tag team wrestling. Seth then says, we're thrilled to be here. Now that pissant third-rate company Evolved is closed, we need a new home, a new place to dominate, and I can't think of a better place. Christopher Daniels then says, when we got the call from our agent about the very generous offer that you and your boss extended to us, it was a no-brainer. We cleansed the tag team division in Evolve, and we're looking forward. And looking at the back, who's in the back, I don't see anything happening different here. And like you said, with the Fallen Messiahs at the helm, this division will thrive. Seth then says, of course, we are and will stay at the tippy top for a very, very long time, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. David then says, I agree, which is why it is with great honor I present to you the TCW Tag Team Championship titles. He then goes to hand the titles to them when we hear what sounds like machine guns, and then I can't do the song, but yeah, and out walk Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, the Motor City Machine Guns. Alex comes out and says, throughout this whole circle jerk, I've heard a lot of adjectives thrown around like greatest and best. But how do you know you're the best? How do they know they're the best, Chris, if they haven't faced the best?
Yep,
Sabin then says, we don't, Alex. We absolutely don't. So I suppose, why don't you two prove it and put both of those beautiful titles on the line tonight?
Beautiful.
Wait, they have the option to just put one of them on the line?
No. How dare you? Or Seth says, how dare you interrupt our moment, our championship celebration? Do you even work here? Security, come get these clowns. David then says, they do actually work here. But I brought them in to add some depth to the division. Sabin then says, yup. So Messiahs, what do you say? Give these fans Motor City Machine Guns versus Fallen Messiahs tonight. Daniel says, we go way, way back, and I know how good you two are. But me and Seth, we are operating on a total different level right now, and you can't begin to imagine. But if you want to get absolutely embarrassed, that's fine by us. Seth then jumps in and says, just not tonight. Yeah. And this is Seth Rollins cackle. Motor City Machine Guns then say, well, if you want to give us the match, we'll just make you give us a fight. Throw the mics out and they rush the ring. The two teams start to brawl with Motor City Machine Guns eventually getting the upper hand. They get into the ring. They start throwing hands. They brawl. They eventually throw Seth and Daniels out of the ring. They grab the tag team titles and they look at them, hold them as the camera pans away.
Mm.
And that segment is about 10 minutes.
I think I'll go first. So, I actually think this is the first mid thing you've done tonight.
I agree.
Like you've had a lot of greatness, and this isn't bad, but it's mid. And here's why it's mid. Because first of all, you're starting a new company, and I get you got to have some heel shit going. But I don't love that they're being handed the titles, especially when it's a made up team. Like, what I would understand is like giving an established team belts and then having a made up team come and go for them. But I feel like the reverse is kind of a weird dynamic because it's like it's Seth and Daniels that have more to prove than the Motor City Machine Guns do.
Well, in this universe, they are already established, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, how long have they been a team? Like, how long did they go to Evolve and do all this shit?
It would have been about 8 months.
That's
6
still
to 8
relatively new
months.
for a tag team compared to like your Usos, New Days, Hardys, Motor City Machine Guns, and all of those types. And I also, I think that's my biggest problem with it. I'm going to give this a 3.5. Nothing about it was spectacular, but that kind of irked me. So, kind of mid.
I'll go
I can live
next.
with that.
I'll go next. I agree with John on that point, and I also there was a couple points in the promos that were definitely hit or miss. Like some of them were good, some of them were really bad. So it just is what it is. So like I said, so my score kind of fluctuated, just kept going back and forth.
Okay.
But the actual matchup, that's fire. Seth Rollins and Christopher Daniels versus the Motor City Machine Guns. That's fire, and I do like the name Fallen Messiahs too as well. So I agree with John with the 3.5. So that's where
Okay.
I'm.
I agree with what they've said so far. I think they're being a little generous.
Here's the Travis we know.
This is the Travis we know.
I think that this is the definition of mid. There was some lines like the Motor City Machine Guns promo was kind of, I didn't like that. It was kind of corny. Their lines just, it felt like the same problem I had with John's promos, where it was like very boring and cornballish. Yeah, it's as mid gets to me, so I'm gonna give you a 2.5.
Okay.
That's below mid.
You said
5
2.5.
divided by 2 is a 2.5.
I figured it's oh yeah, I was thinking on a 1 to 5 scale. Never mind.
Yeah. It's a 2.5, yep.
Mike.
I'm at 4.5.
Hey, it's the reverse of what happened the first couple matches.
I don't understand.
It's chaos, and I love it.
It's toxic.
Yeah, it's toxic.
Do you have a reason why?
He never does.
Wait. What was the score? I didn't hear the score.
4.5.
4.5.
4.5. Okay.
I liked it. I liked the matchup. I like the idea. I don't like that you're pulling in Evolve and all these other places for your setup. I think that's dumb. So that's why it's not a 5.
Okay, that's fine. They're in the same universe, so you're gonna have to deal with it.
I was gonna say I did the same thing.
Don't got fucking multiverse.
Shit.
All right, I have a multiverse. Yeah, I'm building a multiverse. So it cuts to another
He built a
What's it
multiverse.
yeah, I'm building a multiverse.
We're gonna
A
have three different versions of Dolph Ziggler.
a toxic verse, if you will. It cuts to another like vignette. So we see a bunch of people in the gym working out, lifting weights, running on the treadmill. The camera then works its way to the middle of the gym, and we see a group of women gathered around someone. We then see Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner bench pressing 500 pounds with ease, as a group of 500 pounds with ease. Scott stops lifting, and one of the women wipes his chest and then kisses him on the cheek. Scott gets up, flexes, kisses the bicep. Might as well do it. kisses the bicep as the women ooh and ah. Scott says, "How are you doing over there, PD?" We see little PD Pump doing bicep curls as a girl hands him a drink. PD smiles and says, "Killing it." PD then looks over to another section of the gym and says, "How about you?" We see Jordan Grace watching this beefy looking guy struggle to try and deadlift 325.
Talk that shit.
Jordan shakes her head and says, "Let me show you how it's done," and then lifts the weight and with ease and then drops it to the ground. We didn't see the three come together. Scott says, "This is Team Pump. The three strongest people in this industry, and we're coming to bitch slap everybody and throw anybody around who gets in our way." PD says, "Me and Jordan will become the first intergender tag team champions, and Big Papa Pump is going to become the TCW world champion and prove that might makes right." Jordan says, "The math is simple. You versus Team Pump means we walk away with the 1, 2, 3. Scott says, "Team Pump has got your hookup. Holla if you hear us." Then it cuts to a picture of their symbol, and it says like Team Pump, and it says Team Pump debuts next week.
What song is playing when that?
It's just like which part? Like during the
when it says Team Pump debuts.
Oh, it's the Scott Steiner like siren music like entrance.
Say woo.
And that's it. It's about 2 minutes.
Man. I ain't gonna lie, I marked out. Let me get myself together. Okay, but there is something I gotta take. I had to drop you down some. I did to drop you down some. As much as I loved it,
I loved it 5.
Yeah, 5.
Yeah, I also loved it 5.
There's nothing. I didn't do it. He didn't do anything wrong.
I just didn't.
He did one thing wrong, but I'm not going to drop.
It's time to start fucking up now. You got to start doing that shit.
I didn't like the end of the promo. I didn't like the end. I feel like you should just have them lift their weights, and then I forget what you said in the very beginning of the promo. I think you just should have just cut it off there, but they kept going, and that's what it was like.
No, I thought that Jordan Grace's bar was heat.
There was somebody missing. That's what I almost took a quarter off for.
Yes.
Oh yeah, he debuts later with them.
No spoilers though.
I give it a 4.75 because I didn't like the end of the promo, but
I'm also
other than that, I loved it though. I was like, and I was like, damn it! I was like, fucked up.
I'm at a 4.75 as well.
God damn.
Damone's killing it.
Bro, I marked the fuck out, bro. I threw my hat off. And shit.
Man, we gotta start doing this shit last minute. Kenny, we fucked up doing this like a month or so in advance. Like, because Damone did this like probably 2 nights ago and is whooping our
I finished on Sunday.
Yeah, he's whooping our ass doing this last minute. We gotta change.
So we cut back to the arena, and Ricardo is in the ring, and he announces the following contest is to decide who will be the second participant in the Feast or Fire match at Judgment Day. We then hear Jimmy Wang Yang's theme song, and out comes Jimmy Wang Yang wearing a white wife beater, cowboy boots, and jeans. Next we hear Soft is a Sin, and out comes Enzo Amore wearing a black fur coat with Gucci custom pants. Enzo, as he stretches to the ring, says, "My name is Enzo Amore, and I am a certified G and a bona fide stud, and you can't teach that." And I dropped a 7-foot loser, just like I'm about to drop this Rent-A-Cowboy. Jimmy, you look like a trailer park starter kit.
How you doing?
How you doing? You're just missing any of these. The only thing you're missing is one of these fans' sisters, but they're probably too busy making a pass at her themselves. I'm going to show Jimmy the Child why they call Enzo Amore the realest guy in the room. Bada boom. How you doing? And then he does the like Enzo like Dan Strut thing he does. Ricardo introduces both men. The bell rings and Jimmy comes. Also, I'm this precursor. I remember, we're judging the match I wrote, not Enzo's previous matches. Just want to
Okay, make
that
it
very
realistic,
clear.
motherfucker.
Right.
Don't be.
Yeah, I'm not having
Indies,
them do anything
Enzo.
crazy. The bell rings and Jimmy comes after Enzo hard, who backs his way in between the ropes so that the ref has to get between them as Enzo yells for him to get back. The two lock up and Wang backs Enzo back into the corner. Excuse me.
Comes
And
at
the
his
ref
own
gets
heart.
between them again, and Enzo pokes Wang in the eye. So these are the spots. I'm not going bell for bell. So,
He poked the Wang in the eye.
he poked the Wang in the eye, yes. Enzo hits a realist combination, then a baseball punch, followed with Enzo mocking Jimmy. Enzo Irish whips Jimmy into the corner and hits a running elbow, throws Jimmy to the ground, then climbs to the top rope and hits a moonsault followed by a pin attempt. Wang kicks out at 2. Enzo tries to Irish whip Jimmy, but Jimmy counters and Irish whips Enzo and hits a running spinning heel or wheel kick when Enzo comes out of the corner. Wang locks in a hanging figure 4 neck lock and breaks the count at 2. So that's like when you're like in the ropes. So he has to break the count at 4, sorry. Enzo moves out of the way at the last second when Enzo goes for a springboard moonsault and hits a fisherman swinging neck breaker and goes for the pin. Jimmy kicks out at 2. Enzo continues to work the neck of Jimmy, setting up for mob ties. Enzo goes to the...
ties?
It's his new finisher.
Okay, never mind.
Enzo goes to the top rope, but Wang gets up and trades shots with him. Enzo is able to push him down, but Wang springs back up and hits the iconoclasm and goes for the pin. Enzo barely kicks out at 2. Jimmy goes for a cowboy cutter, but Enzo manages to counter it and tries to throw Jimmy overhead, but he lands on his feet. Both men run and go for running cross bodies and they crash midair. Both men work their way to their feet and trade elbows and punches, with Enzo getting the upper hand and going for another realist combination but Jimmy drops and sweeps Enzo's legs. Enzo face plants as Jimmy bounces off the rope and hits a running drop kick as Enzo works his way back up. Jimmy then begins to position Enzo for a yang time with Enzo, and this is pretty much finished. We're at now. Jimmy then begins to position Enzo for a yang time when Enzo moves at the last second and pushes Wang, who hits and knocks down the referee, who also falls out of the ring. So he knocks the referee down, the ref falls out. Enzo realizes this and he begins to signal for someone. We see 2 men wearing suits and ski masks make their way to the ring. Jimmy tries to knock them off the apron, but Enzo clotheslines Jimmy in the back. One of the men then hands Enzo garrote, and Enzo proceeds to choke Jimmy unconscious as the 2 men watch. Enzo throws the weapon back to one of the men, and he yells at them to wake up the referee. They pick up the referee and slide him into the ring, and he counts 1, 2, but Yang just manages to kick out. Enzo and the men are shocked. Enzo's pissed. Enzo then stomps Wang's head while holding his arm, and then locks in mob ties, which is pretty much the rings of Saturn. Right. Jimmy is refusing to tap, but then begins to fade. The ref picks up the arm. 1, 2, 3, and the arm comes down for a 3rd time. The winner of the match and entering the Feast or Fired match is Enzo Amore.
That's it.
That's the end of the match. Yes.
There's no reveal.
What the mob
there is a post match thing.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Mob ties is a Rings of Saturn.
Are you wanting us to grade the match separately than the end of?
I can combine the two if you want.
Learn from my mistake, Damone.
Okay, I'll combine them. So post-match, the other 2 men enter the ring and stand with Enzo. Enzo says, "I'd like to formally introduce the world to my 2 captains. First, this man is a full-blooded Italian and one tough motherfucker, Nunzio, who takes off his mask and then laughs. And this one I'm most proud of. This guy is a hero in the Italian community. The Italian strongman, Bruno Sammartino.
I was really hoping it was gonna be Mike the Situation.
Bruno then rips off his mask and like stands there like menacingly. This right here are 3 of the toughest men the motherland has ever produced. First, I am going to win one of the briefcases at Feast or Fire and cash in and become a champion. Nothing and nobody will stop Il Codice. Enzo signals to Bruno, who picks up Yang by the hair and locks in a bear hug, ragdolling Yang, and then throws him to the ground as Enzo struts. Il Codice then leaves Yang laying in the ring, receiving medical attention.
That name is heat.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
The code.
Okay.
The most word for me.
It sounds cool in
I
Italian.
changed it at the other. I changed it because the one I had, I don't think I could repeatedly pronounce.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say the reason why I asked what that move was because when you were explaining the match, I gotta know what I'm.
Right. Yeah.
So you were like, you'll know here soon. I'm like, I don't know what that is. What am I supposed to?
Sorry. Yeah, it's the Rings of Saturn.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know if it was a Death Valley driver or what I was looking at.
I knew what it was, but there was 2 variations of it that he told me about, and I couldn't remember which one he went with. So I was like,
okay. So,
I
I
got some thoughts. I don't have a number.
got a number.
So go ahead.
Okay, so it was cool. I see what you're doing. You're introducing these characters. I'm not really a fan of the mask thing, like the masked men angle. I don't know. I feel like it's a lot of mystery on your show. Like you already got a silhouette of a man from the beginning of the show, and now you got a mask. They got 2 masked men.
Oh, they're unmasked now.
Yeah, I know that. But I'm just saying. I'm just like,
I know what you mean.
Yeah, I didn't like the mask either, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I almost dropped it, but
no, but it's I don't know. So I didn't think you too hard for that portion of it, but overall match and everything, like with everything included in there, ending as well. I'm going with the solid 3.75.
okay.
So I got to grade you on what we got, not what I think you're going to give us in the future.
Yeah.
As I always do. I see a lot of promise in this angle.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you because I didn't know who you were putting in the Mafia here.
By the way, it's about 17 minutes for the combined for the post match and the match.
Okay.
That's a little longer than I thought it was actually.
I don't. You guys talked about in Book and Verse 1 with me about the like how underwhelming it was when Austin Theory took off the mask. And that's the same thought I had when Nunzio took off the fucking mask.
I'm popping for Nunzio like a million times harder than I am for Austin Theory.
That's because you're a hater, John.
No,
Austin Theory has
really like Nunzio.
Austin Theory has a much higher ceiling than Nunzio ever.
No, Nunzio's fucking lit in ECW. We're not hating on Nunzio. We will not slander this man.
I ain't gonna lie to you, I did.
Nunzio, I was like, yeah, I did too. I was like,
you would have gotten a stipend if it were Little Guido. That's all I'm gonna say.
He could be Little Guido Nunzio. Like Little Guido could just be a nickname.
No, it's different though.
I feel like Little Guido is kind of offensive to the Italian community.
No, but not even that. John just said how good he was in ECW, and that was literally his name in ECW was Little Guido.
True.
As an Italian, it's okay.
Last week he was Mexican.
I am Italian.
I'm pretty sure he's Polish.
I'm Polish too.
I thought you were Seamus. I didn't know you were.
No,
Mike is a mutt.
I am not even close to Irish.
I
am none of that.
That's
I'm English and Scandinavian, basically.
I'm German as shit.
I'm Polish and Italian.
Nordic. That's the word I'm
Mostly.
looking for. Nordic.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Mike. I never would have thought Italian would have crossed.
Northern Italian is what I've been told. Northern Italian, but I don't know.
You should take a test, like I did.
I should,
because I was told I was like a good percentage of Irish, and I've got like 7% in me. These motherfuckers be lying.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I base like my whole identity as being an Irish ancestry person. I ain't got a lot of that.
Well, I know my grandfather was full Italian, and my grandmother was full Polish.
He got un-Italianified.
He was a full-blooded Italian.
Yeah, actually.
Going back to my thoughts here on this match, I listened to your match. I don't think your match was stunning.
Yeah.
I'm also not. I don't. Jimmy Wang Yang versus Enzo Amore is not going to get me out of bed.
It's getting me out.
That's wild, John. That's wild.
I love
the
both
Enzo
of them motherfuckers.
promo was a little flat. It was like some of the barbs were a little. I don't know if it was because you stumbled or if they just didn't hit like that. I'll give you a 2.75.
He's just a mumble mouth bastard like I am.
I see a bunch.
That's all good, Damon. I got you.
I see a bunch of promise here. I like the name of the faction. I would have much rather had somebody else other than Bruno, but
I'm the opposite. I would rather had somebody other than Nunzio because when you said these
I
two mass men,
I'm almost sure he just went down his list and was like, he's Italian, he's Italian, he's Italian.
I ride for fucking Little Guido or Nunzio. I would have rather be Little Guido. I'm gonna give this. I'm gonna give this a 4. It's pretty good. It's not like perfect, but it's pretty damn good. Some of the bars were a little flat, but not like bad. They weren't like corny. They were just like a little bit less good than they would have been with Real Enzo.
Okay.
Go.
The mic.
I liked it. I like the people involved. I like the surprise. I'm going 4.25.
Mike, what does this mean?
Now every time Mike
too.
speaks, I'm
You
thinking
know what that means?
Yeah, that means
yeah,
fuck
you.
you.
Yeah.
I was asking it. Mike said fuck you.
Fuck you.
No, that's what it means. I was gonna say now every time Mike speaks, I'm just gonna see this.
Margariti.
Okay, so
wait. What was your number one more time, Mike? I'm sorry, my fault.
4.25. I think.
Thanks.
it was. So we cut back over to the commentary team, and Matt Striker says he can't believe what he just witnessed. Enzo, Nunzio, and Bruno have joined forces to create Il Codice. Vampiro says here in TCW, we really will see things you never thought you would. Don West says that attack was uncalled for. Striker cuts him off and says Wang doesn't look too hot, but looks like he is refusing medical attention and making his way to the back on his own 2 feet, which is a good sign. But don't go anywhere because we got plenty of more action. Remember, we're commercial free. Plus, I have a special interview that I did this morning with Tessa Blanchard. With you,
hell!
That you're not gonna want to miss. Vampiro says, "Hold on."
On Black History Month, you gonna do this?
This is toxic.
Vampiro says, "Hold on." I just got told some breaking news. Next week, we will see the first of the qualifiers for the TCW World Heavyweight Championship when Carlito faces Brock Lesnar. Striker then cuts.
Brock Lesnar is out here getting beat up on everybody's shows.
Bro, Brock Lesnar is a thought.
I will give you a spoiler. He loses. He actually gets washed.
He gets washed?
He gets washed by
Hey, my universe now. WWE's gonna make him win everything. The book it verse, he loses everywhere. He's the journeyman jobber
on DPW. So
Striker cuts in that it's gonna be one hell of a match. But let's focus on this week because next up we have a match that features 2 competitors in our pure division. The winner of this match will make up one half of the match at Judgment Day to determine the first TCW Pure Champion. It then cuts to a pre-recorded video. You hear the voice of Barry Scott again, explaining what the rules are. As we see highlights from some of Ring of Honor's pure matches. The rules are each wrestler has 3 rope breaks to stop submission holds and pinfalls during the match. After a wrestler exhausts his rope breaks, submission and pin attempts under the ropes by the... After a wrestler exhausts his rope breaks, submission and pin attempts under the ropes by the opponent, pin attempts under the ropes by the opponent are considered legal. So if you exhaust all your rope breaks, pins and submissions, the rope won't break the hold or break the pin. There are no close fist punches to the face allowed in a pure match. Only open hand slaps or chops to the face are allowed. Punches to other parts of the body, except for low blows, are permitted. The first use of a closed fist would get a warning, and the second would cause the wrestler to be penalized a rope break. If he's already out of rope breaks, he would be disqualified. And then, just like every match, it is a 20 count by the referee if it goes to the floor. So the package concludes with shots of some of the talent in the division. So we see like shots of Shane Douglas, Finlay, Christian Cage, William Regal. We then cuts back to Stryker, who says, "I love a good pure wrestling match, and I'm excited about this division." So without further ado, let's go to Ricardo, who's ready to introduce the competitors. I had that as a separate segment, but I'll just combine it with the match. So out first is Pete Dunne, who's wearing a black and red singlet and slides into the ring. Up next, we see William Regal wearing black trunks and a black coat with gold trim. Regal climbs onto the apron. He does the foot thing he does. And he climbs into the respecting the mat, yeah. The match starts with both men agreeing to a test of strength. Regal at first appears to have the advantage, but Dunne manages to get the upper hand and drives Regal down with his shoulders on the mat, which forces Regal to use his feet to kick Dunne away. Dunne smiles and invites Regal to another test of strength. The two block up again and start a chain that includes multiple pin attempts, headlocks, and go behinds, and like pin attempts and everything. At one point, Dunne goes for the stomp to Regal's arm, but Regal manages to get out of the way, and he slides out the ring. Dunne goes out the ring after Regal, and the two trade elbow shots. Regal Irish whips Dunne into the steel steps. Regal slides in at the count of 17 to break the count. Regal then puts Dunne's arm where the steps and the mat meet the ring post. He then kicks the steps several times as Dunne screams out in pain. Regal picks up Dunne and throws him back into the ring and goes for the pin, but Dunne uses his foot puts his foot on the rope to break the count using one of his rope breaks. Regal then delivers several blows to Dunne with short elbows. He then hits him with a arm wrench slam, holding onto the arm, and then knee drops the arm. Regal then smirks and locks in a bow and arrow submission hold. Dunne is writhing in pain and struggling, but manages to shift his weight and get into a pinning position, forcing Regal to count it at 2. Both men get up, and Dunne levels Regal with a strike with the uninjured arm, who then fires back with a hard left hand closed fist, causing the ref to issue a warning to Regal. Regal then goes for the lariat, but Dunne ducks under and hits a sit-out powerbomb, with Regal getting the shoulder up at 2. Dunne's shoulder and arm is clearly hurt. Then grabs Regal's hand and manipulates and bends his fingers back. He then bends his arm and stomps Regal's arm. Then Dunne then goes for the pin, but Regal kicks out, but Dunne immediately transitions into a crossface. Regal manages to get to the bottom rope, exhausting one of his rope breaks. As Dunne grabs Regal to get him back up, Regal hits a jawbreaker, followed by an exploder suplex. Regal then hits a running knee thumper and goes for the pin. Dunne kicks out at 2.9. Regal then lifts Dunne up to his feet and hits a standing tiger bomb, goes for the pin, and Dunne kicks out again. Regal is frustrated and then begins to land ground and pound with this, and then in that ground and pound, he hits a series of hard closed fist punches. The ref yells at Regal and takes away a rope break, so now Regal is down to 1 rope break. Regal goes back to Dunne, who is now busted open and hits a Regal cutter. Dunn manages to get his feet under the rope to break the count, so both men are down to one rope break. Regal drags Dunn to the middle of the ring and locks in a Regal stretch. Dunn again manages to crawl to the bottom rope and break the hold, but he's now out of rope breaks. Regal lets go and immediately drags Dunn back into the middle of the ring and tries to lock it in again, but Dunn is able to keep Regal from locking his hands in by manipulating and like bending his fingers. Regal lets go and backs up. Dunn then hits a series of hard elbows, followed by a snap release German suplex, but can't go right for the cover because of the injured arm. When Dunn goes to pick up Regal, Regal grabs him for a small package, but Dunn manages to kick out at 2. As they get up, Dunn hits an elbow that levels Regal and then hits a bitter end and gets the pin. 1, 2, 3. Pete Dunne has punched his ticket to become one half of the Pure Championship title match. I'm gonna just include the post match in there too. Okay. As Dunne is celebrating and making his way to the back, we see GM Arquette come on the Toxictron, and he congratulates he congratulates Dunne on his victory. He also informs Dunne that he's already decided who Dunne will face at Judgment Day, and it's a man that many call a masterpiece. Out comes Chris Masters with Liv Morgan by his side. Masters and Dunne stand face to face. Master then shoves Dunne to the ground, who gets back up, and he goes after Masters, but security gets between the two as the camera like fades away.
Okay. I'll start this one. This match, it was I'm not really a fan of these kind of matches, so I gave it a 2.5. I'm just not really a fan of the pure rules, and I'm not really. I don't know. I don't. William Regal versus Pete Dunne doesn't really like the way he's talking about Jimmy Wang Yang and Enzo. That's kind of like me for this match. And I did hear out the match and everything, so it was cool. Like I say, it was technical, but like that's not my style of wrestling. So
yeah,
I personally gave it a 2.5.
John.
Sorry, I was muted. There I go. I'm in the same boat as Kenny as well. It's not my style. I like Pete Dunne quite a bit, and Regal I like more as a character than in ring. And what honestly, Regal versus Dunne was a better match than the one you're building towards. I like Masters. I don't see the chemistry with him and Dunne very much, and Liv Morgan as a valet for Masterpiece, kind of weird. I just don't see
shit playing.
Yeah, weird. I like it. Toxic, weird.
It's less promising than anything else I've seen tonight. So, like, it's not horrible, but when you've set the bar so high tonight, this is where it's gonna bite you when you have some serious mid like this, because this looks bad in comparison. So I'm going to give this a 2.5.
Okay, I can live with that.
I was not a fan of this. I think that while William Regal and Pete Dunne might have a good match, it's going to be boring. It's going to be too slow. There's not enough. There's nothing there for me to like get excited about. I like catch as catch can wrestling in small doses. This whole thing would be that. And also, I really don't like that you're building Chris Masters into the pure division. Maybe you can swing me that in like with character work or something, and it'll make sense later on down the road. But right now, I don't like that. And even more so, I hate that you're wasting Liv Morgan as a valet. And
I got some shit planned for her.
Liv Morgan and Chris Masters doesn't fit either.
It doesn't.
Like it's like this is E-Girl and fucking Adonis. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't make sense. I don't.
Every Adonis needs a knee girl.
Make it make sense.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you a 2. I didn't like this.
Okay. Can't all be 5s.
I like the matchup. I like the people. I like the rules. I had no problem with it. I'll be honest. I'm giving you a 5.
Hey.
Mike, you're the weirdest motherfucker.
Right?
Yeah, I would have not
Throwing 5s left and right. Mike's like, I don't know. And then we give him all 2s, and Mike's like, 5.
I wouldn't have expected Mike. I'm pleasantly surprised. I wouldn't have expected Mike to like that kind of match.
He was unpleasantly surprised when I gave him a 2. He thought for sure this is where he was gonna get his 5 from.
It's okay.
So, wait,
I don't remember what else, so.
What?
What
no,
did
I
John
was
say?
saying, no, I was asking Travis, what did you give it?
A 2.
Okay. I just didn't get your score. Your thing cut out on my end.
Gotcha.
Okay. So next we cut to the back, like the locker room area, and we see Jimmy Wang Yang leaving the locker room. Backstage correspondent Joy Taylor sees Yang and asks him for a real quick interview. Yang says, sure. Taylor asks what his thoughts are after his match tonight and the post-match beating he got. Yang says, I've been in this business for a while, and I understand nights like these, they kind of come with the territory, but they still suck. He says he was this close to punching his ticket to the Feast or Fired match. He says he doesn't know how many more of these nights he can take, and you can tell he looks dejected. Joy then thanks him for the interview. Yang is limping away, obviously because he got beat down. But as he's doing that, he accidentally bumps into a clearly already drunk Hangman Page, and he apologizes. Page says, it's no big deal. It's fine. You're good. Page says, hey, you look like you could use a beer or 5. Yang says, yeah, I could. Heyman says, I know a bar a few blocks down the road called the Dirty Spoon.
Dirty Spoon?
Heyman then pulls a beer out of his pocket and hands it to Yang, and Yang takes a sip, and the two start walking out the arena as Hangman seemed to find a new drinking partner.
Is this it?
Yeah, it's about a 2 minutes.
Okay, wait.
No.
Let me start. So I thought this was a break to commercial, and then I realized you don't have commercials.
No, it's commercial free.
I was like, wait a fucking minute.
No, commercial free here.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't like this because look, it's a few things. I'm gonna say why I didn't like it, so you know I'm just not hating on you. Now, like I said, I thought it was a commercial because I thought you were doing that goofy shit on purpose.
No.
And then Dirty Spoon made me laugh. but I don't like. I've never liked wrestling when they interview the loser. That's just me. I've never liked that because you can't really say much besides, oh, I really tried out there. It wasn't for me. I don't like that. I feel like if you get your ass whooped, you should interview the winner of the ass whooping, so that way we understand why he's doing it, or where he's coming from, or why did you whoop his ass like that. So that's why I didn't like. That's why I dinged for that. Okay. And then the whole segment was just
It's kind of supposed to be. It's supposed to be corny.
Yeah, it was bad. So I'm gonna give you a 0.5. Like I know somebody's gonna give you, but I'm gonna give you a 1.25. I'm gonna give you a 1.25. Okay. It was bad, right. But it wasn't like, oh my gosh, turn that shit off. It was funny. The Dirty Spoon shit, it made me laugh.
I wasn't mildly annoyed. I was flat out disgusted. I knew it was going to come eventually.
It was bound to come. It took a while, but we got it.
You took me on the highest of highs just to take me to the lowest of lows. I hated this.
It can't all be 5s.
The only redeeming quality of this, first of all, let's just start at the beginning. Can I get an interview with you? He was like, sure.
Yeah, that might be weak.
Well, yeah, he's digested. He just got his ass whooped, and he's like, I guess I'll do the interview.
I have Joe Rogan on my show. They should be wanting doing that shit.
Oh my god.
Joe Rogan got other words to say.
Oh, yeah. It's funny he bumped into him the way he bumped into him.
Then they went to the Rusty Spoon. I hate it
Yeah.
here.
No, it was just like boom. Oh, sorry.
The
but
dirty
you
spoon.
good, you want
The
to
Dirty Spoon. That's the other thing. This is Brokeback Mountain already. I just have like.
I didn't say they were fucking. Calm down.
You said it was the Dirty Spoon. The only Dirty Spoon I know of is
That's just the name.
Gotta start somewhere.
that's a sex position.
That's just the name of the bar.
That's a
The
sex
Dirty
position.
Spoon.
You have two male cowboys going to a bar
He's gonna give him a bar, all right?
called the fucking Dirty Spoon. Who's the top and who's the bottom? Adam Page is definitely the top.
I was Adam Page is definitely the top in this.
Hey, John, what's your rating?
Yeah, I'm giving you a 0.5. I didn't say it out loud. But that's what
I
you're getting.
knew. Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna pull Mike here. Actually, I'm
This
gonna
is
be the
Cowboy
one with the
Bebop show.
contrarian take because I didn't know the direction this was gonna go in, and it didn't go in either of the ones I thought. Because at first, when he started the promo, I thought this was gonna be the beginning of like Punish Jimmy Wang Yang, who goes through like this like dark heel turn and starts beating the fuck out of everybody, and I wasn't gonna like that. And then when I thought he bumped into Drunk Hangman, that Drunk Hangman was gonna whoop his ass and be a heel, and that Wang Yang was gonna be on some bum ass Baron Corbin shit. You didn't do that, which I wouldn't have liked very much. But I do like the tag team of Adam Page and Jimmy Wang Yang. I think that's actually kind of fun. The Dirty Spoon got a pop out of everybody.
If the team isn't named the Dirty Spoons, I don't know what to do.
I'd pop for it. I like it, and quite
it was
frankly,
gonna be cowboy shit, but I can change the name. I haven't actually introduced the name yet.
Cowboy shit's
Wait.
lit too.
Her name is Cowboy Shit.
Cowboy shit is the name of the tag.
I hate it. That's
I love that.
Take it. Tax him for his next.
The kid
needs to be the Rusty
Write that
Spoon.
down, kid. I'm taxing him 50 cents for whatever it is next.
You
vote.
can't do that. It's Walter versus RVD again.
What? You can't even. The kids.
Hey,
can't even say it.
that shit's lit. I like this. I'm gonna give it a. It's not perfect. I'm gonna give it a 4.
Okay.
I'm giving it a 3.75. I don't think it really served much, but it was also just a short segment. So
Okay.
That's wild. This is the most all over the place thing. This one segment was John's entire pay-per-view. Or his entire show, I mean.
All over the place. Okay, so we cut back to the commentary team where Don says it looks like Don says, Hangman Yang, save me a few. Vampiro said,
I just want to say Keith is going to give the Hangman Jimmy Wang Yang thing a 5.
probably. If there's
So
alcohol
Keith,
involved.
as you're listening to this back, if you give him a 5,
love you.
send
Keith,
send an alligator emoji in the book it chat.
when you listen in 3 weeks, after round 2.
Vampiro says that based off Don's commentary, he doesn't need any more alcohol. Don says he's just so pumped at how the night is going in the future of TCW. Striker says, speaking of the future, here's my exclusive one-on-one interview with a woman many called the future of this business till her career took a sharp detour. Tessa Blanchard.
Oh, that's canon here. Okay.
Racism.
Yeah.
Her career took racism.
And then
This is toxic.
It then cuts to a pre-recorded interview between Tessa and Striker. So they're in like an office like setting, sitting like across from each other. So Striker thanks Tessa for agreeing to this. Tessa says she's happy to finally get a chance to share her side of the story. Striker says that Tessa, you were on top of the world. You were about to challenge for the Impact World Championship, and you had a groundswell of support from across the industry until you had some very disturbing allegations. Yeah, false allegations. Defamation of my character. Striker says, be that as it may, you were accused of racism, bullying. You've denied all of these, but why don't you clarify exactly what happened? Tessa then says, first of all, I not only challenged for the Impact World title, I won it. But days before I start getting messages.
Of course, you're changing the subject.
Hold on. But days before I start getting messages and texts accusing me of being racist and a bully, which both couldn't be further from the truth. You want the truth? A jealous bitch, and she knows who she is, decided that since her career was stuck in the mud to try and pull me down and make false accusations and downright hurtful allegations against me. I'm the victim. I'm the furthest away from racist. You see, I have several black friends who know who the real Tessa is. But at this point, I don't
Joe
really,
Rogan.
but at this point, I don't really care because I won't let anybody ruin my career. Nobody. But what about the allegations of bullying in the locker room? Oh, the bullying thing? This is professional wrestling, not little league.
And Jimmy don't touch boys in the shower.
Every single person in the locker room wants to be the top dog, but the difference between people like me, who's a winner, and the losers is that I don't care who I have to climb over to get to the top.
I was always people like them.
This all stems from jealousy. Isn't it ironic that days before, or all this comes out days before the biggest match of my career? You're a smart guy, Matt. Doesn't that sound very suspicious to you? This is cancel culture at it again. Stryker then says, well, the timing of the allegations was peculiar, but I don't think it's fair to say that it was all about jealousy. Plus, you did have the issues after you won the title, where they had to strip you of the title. Then, what was it, Matt? Because I've never been a bully. Ruthlessly ambitious, yeah, but a bully, no. Plus, we're all adults. This isn't kindergarten. We shouldn't be going crying to our mamas or Twitter because Tessa was mean to me.
Talk that Donald Trump shit.
Also, we all know Impact has always been a train wreck. They unjustly stripped me of my title because I was worried about travel during a pandemic. But I'm the bad guy. You know what? You know what? I'm getting pissed off. So I'm done talking about the past. What else do you want to know? I want to get this wrapped up. I got stuff to do. So let's talk about the future. When I add the TCW Women's Championship to my list of accomplishments. Stryker then says, well, at Judgment Day, there will be a Queen of the Mountain match to determine the first women's champion in TCW. What are your thoughts on that match? I obviously plan to be in that match, and I'm going to win that match and prove why I'm the only woman to win a world title in one of the major companies. I was the queen of Impact, and now I will be the queen of TCW, and there's not a woman on this roster, or any roster for that matter, who is better than me. Not one. And one last thing. I want to address all you twidiots and you internet trolls. I want you to know that I can't be canceled. And at Judgment Day, I will remind everyone that diamonds are forever, and so is Tessa Blanchard.
Damn.
Stryker then thanks Tessa for her time, and the interview ends.
Travis got to go first.
And this is about
5
minutes.
So if the world blows up, all it's gonna be left is cockroaches and Tessa Blanchard.
Yeah, and Twinkies.
Yes, and Twinkies. Yeah. Tessa Blanchard, Twinkies, and cockroaches.
She's kind of built like a cockroach, so.
Bro,
yeah, I didn't like this one the most. You went so high for so long and then just crashed.
it's TCW, man.
TCW, all or nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's nothing.
First review.
Go ahead and mark me down for 2 quarters because I didn't like this. I don't like that you use Tessa Blanchard. I don't like how you use Tessa Blanchard. I don't like.
Yeah, I gotta.
She's a heel.
I gotta agree because it's
I don't like this.
Like I understand being a heel and like it's your character, but when you like a real life like fucking racist and you're trying to use that as an angle, I don't like that. It's in bad taste. It's like Vince McMahon when he does certain things, it's just in bad taste. It's just like So
we are toxic.
No, he is. He is. Yeah, so I got to give it a 0.5 as well. Like I was entertained, but I know like that's why
bump it up to $1. You were entertained.
No, I was entertained, but the fact that her being racist and all that shit's canon, because I was gonna give her a pass if she wasn't like that, but you're like, no, she's like this. I'm like, damn. So they knew, so they signed her knowing she was like this.
She's leaning it. She's denying the allegations. Don't you know she has black friends?
Yeah, no. I mean, like I said, it was funny, but it's just like that's like the
I will
most.
say, Damone, you wrote a good promo. Like Like, no, I'm gonna roast you. Don't get me wrong, it's coming. But your delivery was good. What you were delivering.
With
was
one
Domino's.
So you literally gave Jeff Bezos Amazon delivery of the Dookie. Like, you got that shit to my door pronto. You delivered it well. But that shit was ass, man. Like, you've done so good to this point, and I've rode for you in some times that others couldn't. I can't ride for this.
John turned to Tyra Banks. We were rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you?
Like, it's okay to touch on. I'm in the minority on this take. Is I do think it's okay to touch on real life issues like
I
racism
agree.
and things like that in wrestling, but it shouldn't be real life racists doing it. It should be people
No,
that
I'm
actually
with you
have
on
a
that, too.
clean reputation in real life, so that you can separate the character from that. So let's say if you make fucking, I don't know, like let's say Jeff Hardy does like a fucking racist angle tomorrow. He's from North Carolina. Why not? But we know he's not like that in real life, so that's fine.
You should have done John Cena. He's from Boston.
That's also a valid point. He's a Celtics fan, like Travis. So, but with Tessa Blanchard, she's actually a piece of shit. She doesn't deserve to be getting paid money. She doesn't deserve to be having her side of the story. Though being presented in a bad way, she doesn't deserve to make those arguments on TV. She doesn't deserve that opportunity.
She's the villain in the story. So
but she's still getting the opportunity to advocate for herself when we know that is bullshit and she shouldn't get that opportunity. Just from a social standpoint, and it's just really poor taste. And to the people that she's bullied and done that shit to, they're watching her make racks and argue her case on TV while they're fucking getting no
don't know how
contract.
much he's making.
Yeah. When you know what she would say, fuck him.
You know what I say? Fuck this. This is getting a 0.5 from me too.
Nice Pac versus Tessa Blanchard. Who wins?
Nice Pac, because Pac is at least self-aware.
I've got to disagree with them. I think that bringing in the real life drama adds to your story, adds the controversy, adds to her flame, makes her more of a heel. I'm going with a 4.25.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
He would have given you a 5 if she said the N-word.
Because you know what? I would also be yelling and screaming at the TV saying, fuck this. And
you'd be hoping she gets her ass.
Yeah, hoping she's going to
No,
get
I'd be hoping the company goes bankrupt.
So is this going to be like, so wait, so, but that doesn't work. I don't know. Because remember when
Because
Vince life with the Bret Hart, and then Bret Hart got his get back, and nobody liked it. Like,
it was because Bret was fucking ancient. So
I don't know.
I think if it happened like earlier, I don't think it would have been as bad. But anyway, it's a risk. I took it.
You did. You did.
Swing for the fences.
Sometimes you strike out.
Sometimes you strike out. So that, and like I said, that's about 5 minutes. So we cut back to the commentary team where Piero says Tessa made some very controversial statements, but she is one of the best women's wrestlers in the world. Striker says she is, but I don't know if she wrote the check with her mouth that she can't cash. Don says, well, I have to see it Judgment Day.
Donald Trump's cashing it.
Striker says, but up next, it's time for the main event of the evening. The first ever Death Champion will be crowned in a match, first of its kind match. A barbed wire battle royal. Now let's
Simone started with 3 5s, and he's going to end with 3.5s.
Where some of the competitors are already in the ring. Already in the ring, we have Hardcore Holly, Crash Holly, Spike Dudley, Pentagon Dark, Nick Gage, Sue Young, Abdullah the Butcher, the original Sheik, Abyss, Daphne, Rosemary, and Terry Funk.
Oh, wait. I got a question.
Yes.
So you said they're already in the ring. So people want to come out and have entrances. So how are they going to get in the ring? Is
they slide under?
But isn't that
like it's barbed wire? But there's enough for you. The ropes are barbed wire, so there's enough for you to like slide under the bottom rope to get in the ring.
That sounds dangerous.
Unless Daniel Cormier or Dusty Rhodes comes out.
It just sounds
that's why Abdullah had to get in already.
Yeah, I was gonna say because Abdullah Butch is big.
Yeah,
that's a big boy.
Out comes Tommy Dreamer to a round of applause, and he slides into the ring. Out next is Matt Cardona to a rain of boos, as he carries the ECW TV title to the ring with him.
Yeah, fuck ECW.
We see the lights go out we see the lights flash and go out for a moment, but then they come right back on and there's no one there. Everyone's like pretty confused. And the commentary team apologizes. They don't know. Maybe we're having technical difficulties. But out next is Mick Foley. Lastly, we hear Natural Born Killers play through the arena, and out comes New Jack with the shopping cart full of weapons. He starts chucking them into the ring, slides in with a garbage can lid, and just starts whacking people with the lid. Everyone starts whacking them. Everyone starts beating the shit out of each other with closed fists, chair shots to the head. Just chaos ensues. So I'm gonna give you major spots, but I'm not gonna go like every single elimination.
Okay.
So Abdullah the Butcher grabs Spike, lifts him up, and then chucks him over the top rope, and Spike lands hard on the ground, like hard. Hardcore Holly and Crash try and work together to attack Abyss, but he manages to overpower them and clotheslines both of them to the mat. He then takes Hardcore Holly's head and rakes it against the barbed wire, opening him up. Pentagon runs at Abdullah and hits several barbed or hard elbows that wobble him. Then Pentagon drop kicks him, and Abdullah wobbles, but he doesn't go down. So he does the big guy like wobble thing. Dreamer teams up with Pentagon, and they both drop kick him at the same time. And Abdullah falls back first into the barbed wire. Nick Gage slides out of the ring, and he goes to grab something from under the ring. He grabs a stapler and slides back into the ring. He goes after New Jack, who manages to kick him in the balls. New Jack grabs the stapler, and he staples Gage's private area as he writhes in pain.
I love Jackass forever.
Mick lands a double arm DDT onto a stop sign on Terry Funk, but is immediately hit in the back with a barbed wire bat by Abyss, who then hits a black hole slam. Abdullah stabs Nick Gage in the forehead with a fork, then picks him up and clotheslines him out of the ring, eliminating him from the match. Daphne and Rosemary team up against Su Yung. They try and double suplex her on top of a chair, but she manages to fight them off, but she turns around into a black hole slam by Abyss. Decay, which is Abyss, Rosemary, and Daphne, lift her up and they throw her out. So Su Young's eliminated. Everyone gangs up on Abdullah to try and get him out. He's the biggest person in the match. They take turns whacking him with steel chairs. Abdullah again falls into the barbed wire ropes, and everyone works together to lift him up and throw him out of the ring, and Abdullah is eliminated. The camera cuts into you can see Abdullah's back, and you can just see blood and like cuts and everything. Pentagon hits a Mexican destroyer on the original Sheik, then a sling blade on Abyss. He then does Zero Miedo and hits a springboard cutter on Tommy Dreamer. And yes, he does it with the barbed wire. Hardcore Holly hits a Alabama slammer into the barbed wire on Mick. So he Alabama slams him into the ropes of the barbed wire on Mick, while Crash tries to do the same to Dreamer, but Dreamer counters and hits a pile driver instead. Matt Cardona gets the TV title and cracks Dreamer in the head with it, busting him open. He then throws Dreamer out of the ring to a chorus of boos. When he turns around, New Jack cracks him with a light tube. Crash Holly goes to clothesline Funk, but Funk counters with a drop toe hold, and Crash Holly goes face first into a bunch of tacks. So I'm going to skip ahead to the final four. The final four are New Jack, Mick Foley, Terry Funk, and Matt Cardona. New Jack has Cardona in the corner, and he's beating him down while talking shit. He goes and grab a trash can, but a bloody Matt kicks him in the nuts and throws him into the corner. He then beats him down and puts a trash can on his head. Matt hits a broski boot on New Jack. He then gets New Jack up, and he dumps over the top rope, and New Jack is eliminated. As this is happening, Funk and Terry are brawling on the other side of the ring. Funk gets the upper hand, hits a pile driver on Mick, and tries to get him up, but Mick is too big. Plus, Funk has already lost a lot of blood. Matt, now that New Jack is out, comes over and offers to help. As he's trying to get him, as they are trying to get him out or get Mick out, Matt tries to eliminate Funk instead. So he does like the turn, like the double turn, tries to eliminate Funk, but Funk then actually manages to counter, and he throws Matt to the apron. Matt and Funk trade shots until Funk bites him and then rakes his eyes or his head against the barbed wire and manages to push him off the apron. So it's down to Funk and Mick. Funk turns around and Mick has made it to his feet. The two, sometimes friends, sometimes foes, then start trading punches with each other. Mick goes for the double arm DDT, but Terry counters it and locks in the sleeper hold. Mick tries to break out, but can't. Striker questions the strategy because if he puts him to sleep, how is he going to get him over the top rope? Mick manages to grab a kendo stick that's in the ring, whacks Terry and himself, so he's like whacking like this, and in the process, like whacking himself and Funk until Funk breaks the hold. Terry goes to Mick and hits a hangman's neck breaker. Terry then goes to the corner where there's a 2x4. Terry pulls a lighter out of his pocket or out of his like tights and sets the 2x4 on fire. He swings it at Mick, but Mick ducks and locks in a mandible claw. He drives Funk back first into the barbed wire. Mick tries to force Terry over the ropes, like he's holding him with the claw and like trying to force him over. But Funk low blows Mick. Mick takes 2 steps back and he charges at Terry. Terry manages to grab barbed wire and pull it, causing Mick to go over the top rope into the ground with his own momentum. So Terry Funk begins to celebrate, but then the lights go out again. When they come back on, we see the Demon Finn Balor holding Terry Funk in position for a Bloody Sunday, which is the lifting single underhook DDT. Finn drags Terry over to where the 2x4 is still on fire, and he hits the Bloody Sunday onto it. He then pulls out wire cutters and cuts a piece of the barbed wire off and wraps the barbed wire around his hand. He then proceeds to beat Funk with punches until Funk stops moving. Finn then grabs Funk by his bloody hair. Finn then licks the blood off Funk's face and then puts him in position for another Bloody Sunday. But this time, he does it into the barbed wire ropes. Funk gets stuck, though. He's like hanging on the outside because there's a piece of like barbed wire. So he's like in his back, so he's dangling. Finn then backs up and he gets a running start and hits a shotgun drop kick, causing Funk to fall to the ground with like a piece of his back ripped from his flesh. So the winner of the match and the first ever TCW Death Champion is the Death Demon, Finn Balor. One of the referees reluctantly hands Finn the title as Balor stands in the middle of the ring victorious with the title as medical crews attend to Funk. Finn holds the title as we fade to black. And that's the end of the show.
This is way too much for me.
I'll go first. I don't have a number, but I have some comments. I know I have some things I need to criticize.
I got a number.
I feel like actually, Kenny, you go first. You have a number. I don't.
Okay. I already wasn't that excited for the match. I knew this was going to be like kind of memey, but this match was honestly just disgusting. It was creative.
It made my stomach hurt.
Yeah, I was say it was creative. Stuff you said was creative. It was so creative. The fact that I can visualize this shit, and it was disgusting. And I kind of knew it was going to happen when you said the Flash. I was like, okay, that's Finn Balor.
I called it. I literally said it out loud.
Oh, I didn't hear you say that, but yeah,
I said it's the demon.
Yeah, I didn't hear you either.
I didn't hear it, but yeah, I was like, okay, that's the demon. But yeah, I don't know. And then I don't like the hardcore matches or death match. I'm sorry, no, it's not even hardcore. That's a death match. It's a death match with fucking females involved too. And it's like I don't know.
Why can't females have death matches? Can they?
I don't think anybody should have death matches.
No, it's not even that. It's just
They want the title too.
I'm surprised you didn't do anything stupid like have them staple their tits together or something like
no.
that.
He did have the man whack himself in the face with a kendo stick.
Yeah, and had somebody's testicles stapled. So
yeah, it was a lot. Like it was just disgusting. And then like for him to just win with a shotgun drop kick and his back is still stuck to the damn turnbuckle or rope, whatever. That's just a disgusting image. And I would be watching this like, oh, like,
Don't forget Finn licked the blood off of.
Yeah, that part too. Yeah, I would say it was a lot of,
you're making it worse. Stop it. Don't remind me of what happened.
I remember. Trust me, I remember all this stuff. So I'm saying why you got the score you got. I'm giving you a 0.75, and that 0.25 is for creativity for this nastiness. Okay. Like so because you got to the point where I visualized this shit. I couldn't visualize any of the other matches, but I visualized everything that fucking happened this nasty ass match. And yeah, I'll give you a 0.75. Yeah, that shit was gross.
Everything Kenny said except for I didn't like this at all. You don't even get points for creativity from me because I did not like this shit at all. You guessed right, Damone. This is disgusting. Not for me. I hated it. It literally made my stomach hurt.
Good.
Trevor, say the quote. Say my quote.
I wasn't mildly annoyed. I was flat out disgusted. 50 cents. It's never fit more than right now.
I love the fact that it was a throwaway phrase for me, but that was like a line now for the
I actually have a few more legitimate complaints. I think the wrong
more legitimate?
As in, like, I'm not just hating on this because
your opinion isn't more important than mine.
Let me explain.
I get where he's going. It's not just, I don't like that matches, so it's getting a 0.5.
Yeah, it's not based on the merit of like what the match is. It's based on things you did with the match that could have actually made it better. Okay. You had the wrong final two. Okay. The people who you eliminated 3 and 4 should have been your final two because every person from back into KEW in the first Book It verse. Every time there's a hardcore death division or some shit like that, besides when I did it on the GOAT, always leads to fucking Mick Foley and Terry Funk. Be original. Do something
they
new.
weren't the final two.
Well, you get what I mean. 3. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna get to that, but
Finn Balor and fucking Terry Funk.
I'm gonna fucking get to that. But Matt Cardona and New Jack should have been the final two because that would have actually been a somewhat original idea, and Funk and Foley is not. Then the Finn Balor shit. Oh my god. One, how is he legally an entrant when nobody fucking knows he's there? Like, did they sign off on him just showing up at the last minute?
No, technically he had his entrance. But for every other entrance, there was one. Like I said, we didn't hear anything. We just saw the lights flash.
That was technically his entrance. His entrance saying he's in the match, and he was signed to the match. It's just none of the other competitors knew.
Well, that's an unfair advantage. But I mean, so there's Demon.
He used Brock Lesnar's move, John.
It's an Undertaker thing. Undertaker did that all the time. Like he would just appear and shit.
When? Give me an example.
A lot of his career where he would just pop up out of no fucking
promos and like fights, yes, but not for like actual like matches. And especially not battle royals where like you're supposed to know like the list of entrants and stuff like that, I guess. So like it literally, if the company knew he was in the match and allowed him to do that, it would be an unfair advantage. And why would this demon guy be in the pockets of like corrupt moguls? You know, it just doesn't make sense to me. And I think he's above this title, like, because the promo you had for him earlier, that sounds like somebody who could be going for 100%. A world title or something like that. I feel like he's above this, which I get, like a demon going for the death belt because, you know, he's evil, whatever. But, like, he feels above this. And the licking his face. What the fuck was that? Besides the bloodborne pathogens. Like, that's so gross.
It's supposed to be gross.
It serves no purpose though. Like he just licks a motherfucker. Like
you would hate a BJ Penn match.
It's like gross that he's licking another man's blood. That's the whole.
Yeah,
point.
but like it doesn't harm him. He's like almost like kissing him at that point. If he had like poured salt on his tongue, it would have made more sense. But this makes no
What?
fucking sense. At least with the salt, it would
What?
hurt.
That
It would
made
hurt at
it
that point.
worse.
No, that would have made it hurt. Actually,
I get no,
licking
okay.
somebody don't make it hurt.
Yeah.
I get what you're going for, John, but that was not the right move.
No,
You get what I mean? Though? What does just licking a guy do for anything?
No,
Nothing.
It's literal blood.
It's not about making him hurt. It's about showing that you don't.
It's
I
psychological.
don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I don't
so,
care.
That's stupid. I hate that. Hurt him.
I mean,
Do something that actually hurts him.
He did
But-
hurt him right
Hurt
after.
him more.
That's a horror movie villain, though. That's what that is, a horror movie villain. So I get that part. It's just, I mean, the weird
hated
thing,
it.
like I would be pissed if I seen somebody put salt on their tongue before they licked somebody.
Yeah,
in a
that
fucking
would
wrestling match.
have been worse.
That would have fucking hurt at least. It would have been useful.
It's not about
What?
being useful. It's just
rate the match, John. Rate
it's
the
a
match.
character thing. It's a character
What's the
thing.
number?
It had some redeeming qualities, but not enough. I'm gonna give it a 1.
Okay.
Not quite 2 quarters, but you got 4.
Damone, I thought you were gonna win this week, and I'm not positive you even beat John now.
The
No,
numbers,
he's
I'm
beating
looking at
me.
the numbers. The numbers are crazy on this event.
I know they are.
I
think
feel
he's-
like I said, I'm going for 5s or 0.5s.
no, literally, that's what it's looking like here. It's like 5.
I think he
5,
still,
5, 2,
I think he
5,
still squeaks and wins, but it's gonna be way closer than I thought. I thought he was gonna come out of this destroying us. I think it's gonna be way closer now.
All right, Mike, give him your 5 since we all hated it.
I did not hate it like everyone else.
Oh,
It made
shit.
sense. I thought working it in from earlier made sense. I'm giving it a 4.
Mike's gonna be
beat
the reason
Mike.
he really beats our ass.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah, I
death
can't
match.
calculate
It's a
the
death
scores.
title. You're gonna see death shit. Also, I'm not fucking changing it. You're getting this fucking death division, and you're gonna fucking like it or not.
Oh,
but you're
hey,
fucking
oh,
getting it.
Hey, talk your shit. Don't change shit. I ain't changing shit
Yeah.
either.
You're
I'm not
fucking getting
changing
it.
shit either, but I'm just telling you, I'm not. I'll get the Death Division, but I'm not gonna like it.
Yeah, you're getting it. Yeah.
You're gonna continue to get these 50 cents. You keep
Yeah.
stapling balls and licking blood.
Well,
Fucking
I
hit
got
him
some
on the
other.
head with a kendo stick. He's like,
That's
Yeah,
the
he's
least of my
gotta-
concerns.
He's gotta break
I
the hold
forgot about
somehow.
that.
no,
He
I
stabbed somebody. Somebody got stabbed with a fork.
Abdullah,
Bro.
that was Abdullah the Butcher's actual move. He would stab people with a fork.
I'm aware. I don't
It
think-
felt like I was watching.
I gave you
Brazzers.
Abdullah the Butcher. You don't think I knew?
Damone, it felt like I was watching Brazzers. You had
What channel on Brazzers are you on, Kenny?
you know they hit on their face.
It wasn't the kendo stick. It was a disco stick.
Not a kendo stick. It's private parts, like you said earlier.
Didn't say private parts.
I hated that.
It was meat.
But
It
yeah,
was
that's
meat all-
TC,
it was
that's
meat all along.
that's TCW Wednesday Night Reckoning.
I hate
So
TCW.
Your new death champion is. the
I feel like
death-
I would watch
the Death
TCW.
Demon.
though.
the Death Demon Finn Balor.
I would watch TCW for the first 20 minutes, then I turn it off.
Exactly. Yeah. The
Hey.
first hour is dope. The second hour, don't watch that shit.
Yeah.
We got an hour out of you watching it. So
All right.
Who else is
so-
on Wednesdays? Isn't it Mike on Wednesdays?
Probably.
Your show probably starts in the second hour.
Wait, Mike, you don't know what it's on? 'Cause I don't know. I'm just work here. I don't know. That's hilarious.
We don't even know who owns Mike's company yet.
you don't know who owns mine either.
I can tell you who owns mine.
It's the Raw general manager.
Who is-
I told you.
Shane McMahon owns mine.
Oh.
Oh, I think he was about to say Shayna Baszler. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, what?
She came into some money.
Yeah.
No,
Next
no.
week we've got Travis, right? Is that
Yep.
no? Yeah.
Yep. PTC. Take over One Shot at Glory.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and do plugs. Fudge. Bad guy.
I wasn't ready for that. Check me out on Bad Guy Spoken on all social medias. All my shows are on YouTube's under the Bad Guy
I
Spoken
hate that.
podcast. You hate that?
Yeah, I hate when you say YouTubes.
That's what I do every time. YouTube's and the Twitches. So YouTube on YouTube under Bad Guy Spoken podcast, you'll see my podcast there. You'll see Unbiased podcast of the football show. You'll see us eating various foods on there for Food Truck Fridays. We try so you don't have to. Pizza connoisseurs and wing connoisseurs coming soon. And yeah, there's all kind of shows on there. Jukebox. You want to see any album reviews and just me playing video games. Just everything's on there. And check out what you call it, T13media.com.
Travis?
Follow me on all social media at IAMTRAVVYT. That's at IamTravyT on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram.
You can follow me on I be tweeting and TikToking, so you can follow me on both at DumbMoney213, DAMONEY T1 3. Follow me on both.
Find me on Twitter, hi-fi_Mike. Find me on TikTok, hi-fi Mike. There's no underscore. You can find all the shows on the T13 Media Network on our website at T13media.com. That's the letter T. Oh, the number one. I forgot how it is. Letter T, number 1, 3 spelled out, media.com. And give us a 5-star review on Spotify and Apple.
If it's not 5-star, fuck off. Like Finn Balor would, or like Tessa Blanchard would say.
Tessa Blanchard would say something else.
Because she cannot be canceled.
Hey, Damone.
Yes.
You had us in the first half. That's
yeah, not gonna lie.
Damone, if you choke this lead and lose to either me or Kitty, I'm gonna be mad at you. Actually,
why is John laying there like a thought? Show me some thigh. I hate it.
Hey, sometimes you like I thought the 1 week too. Don't forget.
My back hurt.
All right, and that was Book It. See ya.
It was literally October.
Bye.